It's been exactly 1 year since I released my previous Cringe compilation for April Fool's Day, featuring all the videos I made during my horrible high school years. As a matter of fact, it was so long ago that my wall was barren back then, and now it's nice and decked out. In some ways it's cleaner, in some ways it's messier, just as my life. In that time, I finally managed to download all of my videos from my old channel just so I can have them backed up on the same hard drive where I back up the Dr. Lockdown videos, and it turns out there are actually 90 of them, give or take a few. At first that might seem like a lot, but then there's a few things you need to take into consideration. 13 were already used in the previous video, 1 was from a concert back in high school, 1 was just linked to another video that I've already covered, and a whopping 44 of them aren't cringy enough because they are too late in the cycle. 44 of those videos are just glorified slideshows, showing off the creations that I made and the things that I did with a musical backdrop without any actual commentary, so no cringe there. I have to kick out a few others just because they're a bit too weird to be used and they don't really fit with the theme. That only leaves 30 usable videos, and I think I'm only going to cover 14 and make this the last one, because a lot of them cover the same ground that I've covered before. Really cringe-worthy reviews of mocks and things that I bought that really had no place being on the channel. Not to mention that stretching another year would feel like jumping the shark in some ways. I want the April Fool's videos to change and evolve, and if I just go ahead doing the same thing again and again and again, it's jumping the shark a bit. But enough of that, make sure to get on your cringe protection goggles, because we're going into maximum levels. Let's get going into today's diagnosis.
Hello YouTube, this is the Dcast, and this is another mock that I've made. It is part of a, well, it's a Hero Factory mock, and, well, first I'll just show you it, and then I'll explain what it's basically about.
Ah yes, starting off with the feet, the most important thing, maybe to Tarantino. You know, I never actually noticed how terrible my voice sounded when I was younger. It really adds an extra layer of cringe to the whole thing.
Oh, and if there's any problems happening, I've been trying out the, shake reducer, whatever, who really cares?
Have you ever considered actually purchasing a tripod or a GorillaPod or just something, you know, like most YouTubers use, instead of just relying on YouTube's rather terrible compression method and stabilization method? It really doesn't work very well. Also, not to mention, you're shaking the camera around and completely going off topic for 45 seconds before actually getting into the meat and potatoes of the view. Yes, I know I like to fluff a bit, but I like to preamble and actually relate it to the subject at hand. This is just 45 seconds of fluff.
It's called, Nikki Storm. That's her name, she's a hero. She's part of 6 heroes I've designed in a new series that I call Timescape. Now, Hero Factory Timescape is basically where the dimension, that there are 2 dimensions that have broken down, and those dimensions are actually the dimensions between the Bionicle realm and the Hero Factory realm. So basically, yeah, it's pretty much just, well, the villains are normal Bionicle villains like Rakshi, maybe Vizorak. I don't know, because I haven't made any villains yet. I've only made some of the heroes.
You know, I just noticed you've got one of the pieces on that Bionicle backwards, or Hero Factory character, whatever the f it's supposed to be. I suppose you might want to run down on what this whole Hero Factory Timescape bullshit was supposed to be. Well, it was a terrible, terrible fanfiction that was supposed to lead off from LEGO Transformers Conquest and eventually bring Transformers, Hero Factory, and Bionicle into one universe. Because fanfiction crossovers weren't prevalent enough in the time. I even had a horrible self-insert character known as Spectre. He was just me, a smart and nerdy guy who had not many friends and just kind of worked on the scientist Shockwave and, you know, didn't join the Decepticons.
Ooh, what's this doing? That's the wrong way around.
Thank you! You have no idea how much that was bothering me. I also gotta love how much I stutter, because apparently editing a video hasn't kicked in yet. Apparently I'm not good enough to use iMovie, even though it's still a perfectly fine editing software back in the day before it went to complete shit. But in all seriousness, this video carries on and retreads a lot of the same ground for about 5 minutes. It's a complete fluff throwaway video, so on to the next one. On to the next one. There, the click actually worked that time. Honestly, Black Phantom was a cracking set from the Hero Factory line. CCBS had a lot of potential that I feel just wasn't utilised, and nowadays LEGO's completely abandoned CCBS entirely, because brick-based sets end up selling far better, because you've got more recognisable characters and the minifigure is as timeless as ever. But while it lasted, we got some fantastic sets, like Black Phantom. The problem with this video is, because I didn't know how to edit, I split it into 2 separate parts.
Hey YouTube, this is the Dcast, and if you're wondering why I'm at my computer...
Ew! Get rid of those fucking tissues off your desk. Jeez, I hope there's nose fluids in that and not anything else.
If you're wondering why I'm at my computer, it's because the set that I usually use for most of my things is too big to have this. Okay, whoa. Rock is not the main character. Ferno is. What the heck's going on?
I think LEGO's definitely pulling in a lot of the Power Rangers fandom, because Red often transitions into Golds, Tahu eventually gave up his leadership to Takanuva, Lloyd ended up taking over from Kai in Ninjago, and of course here in Hero Factory it's just a common thing. It's not something that's annoying, it's just a fact of life. Gold surpasses Red, it's part of the story. From here, it's another 2.5 minutes of me going over every individual part in the set like Jangbrix used to do, except Jangbrix had more personality than I did back then, so let's cut ahead a bit.
Black Phantom looks really... well, black and phantom-y.
Black and phantom-y. Black and phantom-y.
Well, not really old. He doesn't actually look like a phantom, though. He looks very, you know, dark and menacing.
Yeah, like a phantom. A dark and menacing phantom. Who's evil and brooding, and dark and menacing. You get that?
I mean, Nikki's... yeah, I've actually got the Thorn X launchers on Nikki Storm. One moment. Yeah, basically...
So you f***ing kidding me again with the Nikki Storm shit? And the whole time you've got her lying down, because forget actual size comparisons where the figures are standing up so you can actually get a sense of how tall they are. No! Just use a mock that no one owns and leave her lying down the entire time. Brilliant f***ing idea! Quick word of advice as well, you might want to stop showing off your desktop. It could end up doxing yourself, or maybe just give away some information you don't want to know about. Now granted, I was way too young to have porn on there at the time. If you went through some of those convention videos that I made last year, you'll notice that I had a time-lapse photography section of me building some of the Gunpla, and I had to go to great lengths to remove any evidence of my email being shown, because at times I checked my email briefly and there were just like a couple of frames where you can see it, and I just had to carefully cut them out. It was very easy in the end, but it's something you really should do. Never show your desktop. So, remember the first video I ever did on that channel where I viewed the character building Dalek and I called out to my grandmother, Yaya, because Yaya's grandmother in Greek, because I didn't know how to edit out shit and I didn't realize that filming downstairs would mean I'd get interrupted? Well, I bought more of them. Oh joy.
Hello YouTube, this is the Dcast, and this is the character building / Lego Dalek review. Part 3.
Is it Lego though? Can you really call it Lego if it's not licensed by Lego? Although, can you really call third-party Transformers Transformers if they're not licensed by Hasbro and Takara? It is something to think about.
And why is this guy still here? I don't care about this guy anymore. It's silly, because what I need is something completely different.
Very odd. You seem to care just enough to use him in this oddly drawn-out intro. So, I think you might care.
Last one I got was from Series 2. In Series 1, you can get a red and a blue one.
Jesus Christ, I forgot how terrible the character building figures were. What were they thinking? Who even owns character building? Is it Mattel? Is it a Mega Bloks side thing? Is it just... I honestly don't know. Do they still make Doctor Who action figures? I'm just gonna check that actually. Doctor Who Jodie Whittaker action figure. Yeah, they're still making them. But I guess the character building thing crashed and burned. Huh. That doesn't actually look that great, to be honest. I think Jodie deserves better. Oh, look, and no pops. Oh, joy.
They got a newly sculpted one there. The original gold and black variants. Now that is cool. That is mother exterminating cool.
Mother exterminating cool. So, why? You know what, that's actually a kind of good call in today's environment, given the demonetization system, but still, you could always just swear and bleep it out. Interesting thing, when I put these videos in the folder to start editing them and scripting the videos, I thought they were two separate parts for the same video, but actually they're two completely different videos uploaded on different days. And yet they seem so similar. So I guess I better show you part 4, Dalek is very breakable.
We've had white. And we've had red. But now, in an all-new D-Cast review, we have... Huh? Where the hell is it?
Now you listen here, mate. Didn't you just f***ing say you wouldn't f***ing swear, mate? I warned you, mate. I said you wouldn't f***ing swear in my household. Another thing to note is that this is clearly filmed at night because apparently having bright light for videos so that you can see everything properly never crossed my mind.
So basically, it's a lighter blue than I'd expect it to be, so I'm a bit disappointed.
Oh no, the Teletubby Daleks aren't as dark and edgy as you would have hoped. Isn't the entire point of Doctor Who to be funny and goofy and kind of ridiculous?
You know, the more colourful ones I get, this one's starting to look a lot less good. It's starting to look a bit, you know, look a bit crappy, I think.
Until now, I never actually realised how bad the word crappy sounds like. Kind of reminds me of Scrappy-Doo from Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Some more spaces for 2 more Daleks. And there's apparently and the orange one you can only get in a set, and I'll get that set and I'll review it.
And I never reviewed it. So...
Hello YouTube, it's the D-Cast, and today it's not Lego, it's not Transformers, it's Warhammer 40k. I just thought I'd show you off my army.
Yes, just go ahead and film your Ultra Smurfs army that no one cares about while your parents are cooking in the background. Another brilliant idea from the mind of Lord D-Cast. Funny thing, I actually have a very complicated history with Warhammer. It's the primary reason why I took a hiatus from Transformers to begin with. Warhammer was prohibitively expensive, and it still is, to the point where it's one of the only fandoms aside from Transformers that have such a prevalent knockoff side to it. But unfortunately I was stupid enough to fall hook, line and sinker for Warhammer's ploy, and I ended up quitting Transformers around the end of Dark of the Moon as we were going into Fall of Cybertron. Yes, Fall of Cybertron was a terrible time for Transformers, but I missed out on Thrilling 30. Even though they never really stocked it in my area. I did remain passively interested in the fandom though. As much as I criticise him and somewhat dislike him nowadays, Optibonimus held my passion for the franchise for a good few years until I found Thew.
Guys, this is Optibonimus coming at you with another video review.
Then Thew's Springer review led me to order Springer, but before that I ended up buying Robots in Disguise Optimus in America. One thing led to another, I decided to start this YouTube channel, and then it kept going from there, and I'm very happy where I am now. But as bad as Warhammer is, I'll give my younger self the benefit of the doubt. So, tell us, what is your collection like?
Basically what I'm going to do here, first off, but it's 2,000 points excluding this, because I just got this and I don't know how many points it's worth. because I don't have the codecs, but basically you can see there's a video for how I actually converted this. It's called Converted Land Speeder.
Yes, just ignoring for a brief second that you're not really showing the land speeder properly, let's focus on that army system. If I remember correctly, and I could be completely wrong, 2,000 points is worth around a few $1,000s. Maybe about 5 or 4, 3, I don't know, it's been so long. But 2,000 points is still not enough to have a full game, because most games you need at least 5,000, 6,000 points. And again, I could be wrong, I'm just going off memory. But Warhammer is f***ing expensive. I pity the wallets of any collector of that.
46 tactical marines. Most of them are painted, some of them haven't been, only a few of them though. You can see it's a lot of tactical marines.
Thin your paints!
2 captains. Basically one's a Soul and Black Reach, and what's this? 25th anniversary model. Yes, that is correct. If they still sold this, I would say I definitely would get this.
Yes, and modern me would say that that exclusive 25th anniversary model is a piece of shit. It's just a regular model on top of a giant pile of rocks that you could probably build yourself with an okay banner that you could probably 3D print yourself, and it probably has been knocked off at this point anyway. You look at the Transformers exclusives from conventions, you've got Fort Max with a sword, and at least that sword has some incentive, even if they sold it separately in another convention, and that's apparently how I got that. That was a second hand, so I'm not really sure. Then you look at some of the BotCon exclusives, and those are really cool, especially the Cyclonus that I got last year. And then you look at some of the third-party exclusives like MMC Anubis. Man, they're cool. And then you got Warhammer, which is just a guy standing on a hill.
And apparently Ultramarines aren't generic anymore. Dark Angels are the new generic Space Marine. They're coming out with a new starter set with Dark Angels. I did a bit of research, and apparently that's what's happening.
Oh no! Ultra Smurfs won't be the most generic characters in the franchise forever.
Okay, hello, this is the Gcast, and it has been a while since I've done a video. And this, I know the title. It says, World's Smallest Lego Optimus Prime.
Oh dear, you know that title is just asking for trouble, right? Every time you push something as the smallest, or the biggest, or the best in any Lego creation, or anything really, you just come across looking like a complete prick. I mean, it's cool that you're getting into G1 Micro because it was a fun line that I really enjoyed building for some time, but did you have to be such a prick about it?
Yes, the smallest Generation 1 Optimus Prime on YouTube. I'm not bragging. I'm not. All I'm saying is that as of today, this is the probably on the internet.
You know, it's very funny because the Oxford Dictionary states bragging as excessively proud and boastful talk about one's achievements or possessions. You, good sir, are definitely bragging.
Now, I'm not lying. I mean, just check a look at this video. Look at this video.
Wow, real classy. Showing other people's videos and saying you're better. Because that's not an asshole thing to do. You're not even using the right colours, f***wit.
What am I comparing it to? I mean, am I comparing it in robot mode or vehicle mode? I'm doing it in vehicle mode. This has the smallest vehicle mode.
See, it's not even smallest in the mode that actually matters. The robot mode matters in the smallest contest. It is not about the vehicle mode. If you wanted the smallest vehicle mode, you could just put a couple of tiles together. Here, I'll do it right now. World's smallest Optimus Prime, just 2 pieces, the smallest in vehicle mode. Hell, I could say that's the smallest one. This one piece is Optimus Prime, but you don't care, do you?
Here we have a size comparison. Let's just move that over. This is the, whoops, kind of fell over, Lego Star Wars Planet Series Naboo Starfighter.
You know, if it's that small, all you really need is a minifigure. Again, you don't need to show size comparisons with things that people aren't likely to have. At least with Transformers, there are size classes, so if you use a Voyager figure, they can kind of get a feel with how big it is. But when it comes to Lego, sizes vary very much. So, just use a minifigure like any normal person. Interesting thing about the background though, that was actually going to be used for a high school project where I would show stop motion. You'll actually get to see a bit of stop motion later, but it wasn't for that project. That project ended up getting scrapped, and it became Robo Wars instead, which you saw a bit of last time. But I ended up keeping that and using it for this at the very least, so it lives on in some way. Oh boy! I've been looking forward to this one. My first dive into proper analytical content, although it's still terrible.
Recently, Nintendo Direct released a new trailer for a game called, well, the latest Pokemon game. Now, this has left me with mixed feelings.
Keep in mind that this was during the Wild West days of YouTube copyright when it came to Nintendo, where Nintendo was blocking videos left and right. So as you can probably tell, I've been a Nintendo fan for most of... So as you can tell, for most of my life I've been a... So as you can tell, for most of my life I've been... Oh, come on! So as you can tell, for most of... This video's consequences were so huge that I ended up not being able to upload over 15 minutes for a whole year afterwards, because if you remember, back then, those were the ramifications of breaching copyright. And of course, fair use was thrown out the window because Nintendo didn't care. I think the worst part to come out of this was that I was forced to watch that horrible Happy Tree Friends video time and time and time again. No one should be forced through that pain.
Okay, for starters, the whole Pikachu thing at the beginning is just lame. The whole thing with the subtitles, yeah, that kinda sucks.
It's still actually better than the I Choose You movie dubbing, though.
Yeah, now the first thing that I'm disappointed about is the fact that it's Nintendo 3DS. Now, I have a Nintendo 3DS, but the problem is, a lot of people don't, so this might kinda be the end of Pokemon for some people.
Are you serious? Are you actually serious? You do realize that Pokemon is a system seller. I know many people who only got the 3DS to play Pokemon, and they never touched anything else. Now yes, the 3DS had so many amazing games, especially my favourite of all time, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. But many people didn't see that. Many people see the 3DS and the DS as Pokemon machines, and that's it. So, it would make logical sense to put Pokemon on the 3DS.
What I really do like about it being on the 3DS are the graphics. They just look beautiful. I don't know what region this is, but whatever this region is, it's gonna be awesome.
Oars? You know, I'd say your microphone's a bit broken, but you're not really using one, are you?
Okay, what I really don't like about this trailer, and what I will not like about the next few games, are the starter Pokemon. They look f***ing retarded.
Congratulations! We have the first proper swear word uttered on the channel that wasn't fake bleeped out, and it was actually bleeped out. But to answer the question, yes, the Gen 6 starters aren't that great. Well, at least the blue and the green one. When it comes to Fennekin, Fennekin is the most adorable thing and deserves to be protected at all costs. Plus, he or she also evolves into a hippie, which is bloody hilarious.
The problem is, Nintendo, why not show us any new Pokemon except for the starters? Why just use old Pokemon? It's kinda lame.
Interesting observation, actually, because Gen 6 had a criminally low new Pokemon count, if I remember correctly. It also kind of shoved the original Gen 1 starters down your throat, so the nostalgia for the old Pokemon was definitely up there. Not quite on the level of Let's Go, but still very much up there. Very good observation, even if your delivery is edgier than an octagon.
What the hell is that? That is copyright. Pokemon should not be using that. That is taken from Hayao Miyazaki, you idiots.
Did it not occur to you that maybe they were both based on Japanese folklore? You know, you can't really copyright Japanese folklore. Before you make really dumbass statements about copyright, maybe do some cultural research first.
There's only one explanation to how Nintendo could possibly do this without getting a copyright lawsuit.
Hacks! You know, that joke might have worked with some slightly better editing, but the timing makes it fall completely flat.
It's coming to October. It's coming worldwide this time, which means we don't have to wait for ages just for this damn thing to come out. Now, I'll leave it. Now, as I was saying, the whole thing about this coming worldwide is why Pikachu... Who is this?
This is missing no.
Oh my god. I'm at a loss for words. I think we've done it. We actually did it. We reached peak cringe.
You mean the glitch Pokemon from Pokemon Red and Blue and Lavender Town and stuff?
Yes,
Why are you calling me in the middle of a damn video? I'm busy.
I have something to tell you.
Well, what is it?
I'm in the new game.
No, you're not. There's no possible way you could be.
Yes, I am.
Oh my f***ing god. That was horrible. And it goes on for 2 minutes. 2 minutes of agony. Those 2 minutes, you don't understand. That's the difference between an active viewer and someone just pressing the skip button, or worse, the dislike button. What have you done? Jesus. The rest of me is just claiming I don't know things about the trailer, saying, I don't know about this, I don't know about that. So much for analysing the trailer individually with each frame. And you know what the worst part is? It's not even the only one I did. I made a second part. And I'm not going to cover it. Because it's 18 minutes. And I am not subjecting myself to that torment. Nor you. I'd actually planned on including it in the video, but when I saw that time... no! Just no!
Well, guys, we can probably ignore it since it's going to be gone in a year and a half anyway.
Really? Oh yeah, it's totally not going to stick around. It totally didn't become one of the most popular websites of the mid-2010s. It totally didn't rake in millions and millions of views on its compilations on YouTube. It totally didn't go down just because the company couldn't sustain it because it was taking up too much space. It totally wasn't popular at all. You know, you probably should have actually put this video on that side instead, because on YouTube the joke doesn't really make sense. I guess I could say...
Shut the up.
Yes! You don't know how long I've wanted to use that joke for. I've had it sitting in my folder for ages! I think this one in particular needs to be seen as opposed to just talked about. It's only 35 seconds, so here it is.
Hello YouTube, this is the Dcast and I'm doing an under 1 minute review of this minifigure. Yes, he has very nice detail, but it's blocked out by his weird thing here. Also, his helmet blocks out most of the detail there as well. Nice looking legs. Final verdict, go buy him. There, was that good? Finally, I did the review for you, you idiot. Ugh, I really shouldn't have bet against that.
What is this? What is the context behind this? What made you do this? What led you to this? What's this about? A bet? Was this a mock pages thing? I mean, if I don't know, no one's ever gonna know. And if you're trying to pretend to be tired, why not add a few voice filters like you did with the... like I did recently with the retooling video? Just... what? The thing is, I don't know. And because I don't know, no one's ever gonna know. It's frustrating! The final video is that horrible attempt at stop motion I was telling you about. Yes, it's a horrible, horrible attempt, but it does hold a special place in my heart. As a matter of fact, I might upload it to Facebook afterwards. Who knows? Or I might just put it in an unlisted video. Who knows? Hey, gotta love those royalty-free stock footage fire effects that you took from the animation program. Oh, and you gotta love that motion tweening on that electricity effect. Brilliant. And you gotta love actually, I don't really like the angry sword effects where it's going like that. Rawr! Rawr! I just love how the strategy that they're using in this chess game is so terrible. Back then I thought it was an epic mind game, a battle of wits with the master chess players. But really, they're just moving chess pieces around the board randomly. They don't even remove it from there. Was that supposed to be funny? Oh, poor Rakshi. He's scared about how shitty the animation is. Don't worry, Mask of Light's not that much better. I take it all back. There's nothing more cringeworthy than the phrase, like a boss, spelt incorrectly. Oh, that is peak early 2010s cringe. And this was during the mid-2010s. It's just so terrible. What? That's it? No conclusion? Just gonna leave it at that? I will not stand for this. I need to be put to justice. Wait, that came out wrong. And that concludes the final April Fool's special for the Dr. Lockdown channel. And I'm definitely not going to be doing anything like this again. Although I think what we can take away from this, and I might have said this previously, but you shouldn't be embarrassed about your past. You should embrace it, laugh at it, and move on. We're always different people throughout our lives. I'm filming this at night, but the moment I wake up the next morning, I'm a completely different person than the one I was now. And that's okay, that's how life works. So, laugh about the good times, laugh about the bad times, just laugh in general. And that's my time. As I said, I don't want to jump the shark, I don't want to do any more of these. It's just, I don't have any more ideas. I've exhausted everything that I did during my high school years. There's just absolutely nothing. I can finally put these ideas...
Can you feel the sunshine? Does it brighten up your day?